welcome to April Community Call. My name is James Bailey. It's a pleasure to have you here today, wherever you are around the world. Good morning, good day, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. It's a pleasure to speak to you. We've got a lot to talk about. It's April. There's been a lot of stuff that's happening for SubQuery in March. So let's dive right into it and get started. But yeah, it's a lot of stuff to cover here. We'll be recording, of course. If you have any questions, put them in the comment channel. If you're on Discord, just put them into Discord, and I'll keep an eye on that throughout the session. I'm looking forward to hearing your questions and answering them live on air at our community call. We do this once a month, and of course, we also have office hours every couple of weeks. But let's begin. The first thing we want to lead off on about this week is SDK 4.0. We are releasing the 4th major version of our indexing SDK. This is a big change. We kind of reserve new named major versions for like massive changes. And this one's no different. So the first thing that SDK 4.0, it has some more smaller improvements. Some other things that we'll kind of go into detail tomorrow when we kind of do the formal announcements and the releases tomorrow. But I want to give you a sneak peek of some of the main things. And the first one is, you might recognize this if you've been following us for some time, and that is the data node. SubQuery 4.0 launches SDK support for our new data node. Now, we've talked about this a few times in the past, but I'll remind you again. The performance limitations of data indexes and other applications out there have long been limited by slow RPC endpoints. RPC endpoints are the primary way that your applications interact with blockchain. So if you're talking to Infura or Alchemy or ChainStack or OnFinality, these are RPC providers. They run RPC endpoints. And those RPC endpoints are really inefficient. They don't actually work that well. They're optimized for syncing rather than querying speed. And that's even worse on layer 2 chains. So we are releasing the SubQuery data node, which is a heavily forked RPC node that's perfectly optimized for querying and running in a decentralized environment. The SDK 4.0 version supports our new data node. We'll be releasing this publicly. It's a forked version of Geth, which is an Ethereum client. And tomorrow we'll have all the information about this. It's obviously in beta. But the key headlines is what does it give us? What improvements does it provide SubQuery? And the main one, of course, is performance. This is just the latest benchmarks that we did today. You can see here that the SubQuery indexer, this is for a Ethereum POAP project. So it's a standard proof of attendance protocol project or subgraph. We've converted it into a SubQuery project. And this is a difference in the speed that you get using the new 4.0 version of our SDK versus other players like the graph. Like this is showing the indexing speed or the indexing progress over time. So the vertical axis is your block height that you've indexed, basically your progress, and the horizontal axis is your time. Now you can see that SubQuery indexed the entirety of the Ethereum history for this project in less than an hour, about 44 minutes. The graph took around just over 3 hours. So the key headline here is that SubQuery 4.0, it's all about speed and performance. And the main thing that we have here is SubQuery is now 3.9 times faster than the graph, than a subgraph. That's indexing that POAP project on an 8-core CPU with 16 gigs of RAM. So we're indexing on average 4,088 blocks per second versus 1,044. It's a great improvement to our indexing speed. So this unlocks a big advantage for us. It's a big step forward, and it really matters for those that, if you're indexing a big project and you have to wait, hours for it to index, this really makes a difference. It allows you to develop faster. It allows you to release faster. It allows you to test and iterate your project faster. It's just a massive performance improvements. And of course, this is due to the new data node. This will apply to other applications out there. And the data node is perfectly engineered to run on the SubQuery network, which at least leads me into the next point. What's happening with the SubQuery network? So this is the SDK. the SubQuery network has been growing well. It's our 6th week of rewards. Well, actually, no, it's only our 4th week of rewards, but our 6th week running the network. Still very early days. So far, we have about 24 node operators. We're still adding more and more, adding and syncing their projects. And the node operators right now are earning, on average, about a 72% APR. It's a very high APR. Our target for node operators is somewhere around the 15 to 20% mark. But it shows you that right now, there's a lot of rewards to receive on the SubQuery network. So if you want to join us as a node operator, now's a good time because there's a lot of rewards to be received. 70 APR for delegators. You don't have to do anything. You just have to go online, click, get some SQT, and click delegate. It's so easy, and there's guides about how to do this. But right now, delegators are receiving just less than 50% APR. That's a huge number. Not for doing anything. They're not running anything. It's not costing anything. They just have to stake their SubQuery tokens, and 50% rewards are yours. So we're getting a lot of, at the moment, the SubQuery network is growing quite fast. It's up 26% each week in terms of the number of delegators or the number of node operators. We're increasing things a lot quicker. And this is getting more and more this era as well. So we'll be expanding things more over time. One thing I want to cover here is that we are adding more and more RPCs as well. The SubQuery network now supports 6 RPCs. So we have public endpoints for Ethereum, for Polygon, for Base, for Arbitrum, and for Ethereum Sepolia. I think that's all from memory, and we'll be adding more and more every week from here on out. And some cool numbers. We're getting about 1.5 million RPC requests per day, and this is only after like a week or two of running these. So the network has started. It's growing quickly, but now's a good time to join if you want to participate. Talking about RPCs, though, we now have this network open. You can now buy consumer plans. So if you want to buy an RPC plan for an unlimited rate limit for heaps of requests, there's very affordable pricing on our platform. And essentially, you can now go on and buy a flex plan, which is very easy. What it does is that you kind of select the price, enter a value, and you get your own API key, an endpoint that you can then put into production apps. So the SubQuery network is production ready. It's now ready to serve production applications out there. We're working with teams to add it to the applications. But it's an exciting time for SubQuery that now people can start using this in anger. Like, it is ready, it is working, and it's running live. There's also, you can also publish your own project now from the network, which opened it up to public. So anyone can now publish their own indexer project or RPC project to the network, and you can start getting node operators in around the world to start indexing that project in a decentralized way. So again, SubQuery network is open for business. It's open for people to create projects or create plans with. It's all ready to go. Now, if you don't want to create a project or create a plan or be a node operator, I remind you, you can be a delegator. There's almost a 50% APR right now for delegators. It's super easy to start staking tokens or delegating your tokens and to become a delegator. It takes like 5 minutes. There is a QR code there with a link to how to delegate. I think Suchi might also put a link in the comment section as well. So if you're not already a delegator and you've got some spare SubQuery tokens, it's a good idea to delegate your tokens. If you've got an airdrop, for example, and they're sitting on Base, I suggest delegating those tokens, and then you can get some APR off them, and you can experience the network. It's very easy. It's zero risk for delegators. You don't have any slashing for delegators. It's a great way to get started. But there's also a new way that consumers can participate and earn rewards, and that is for a new project we have called Boosting. Boosting is now available. It was released this morning. And consumer boosting is a new process. Basically, in short, what it does, it's a kind of a game changer. So it's for both consumers and indexes on a network. Let's say a consumer has created a new project, and they really want a node operator to start indexing that project. So you can boost the project, which gives more rewards for node operators to then go and index that project. Okay. So if you assign boost to a project, node operators will see that, and they realize that they can potentially get higher rewards for that project. So they might come along and start indexing that. But also you as a consumer receive rewards in the way of free query units. So instead of having to pay for your RPC queries, you get free RPCs that you can use against the project, or free queries for a data indexer. So if your app's using this project, it allows you to get cheaper queries, to also attract node operators, and of course, attract them by giving them a higher reward rate. So it's a great way to participate. It's very easy to do. We've got a guide around how to do this. Basically, you just find your favorite project and you click boost, and you enter a boost amount, and you can go and reap the rewards. Just a reminder, like SubQuery, we have a fully fledged out token economic model. So it's kind of here. It's a bit hard to see. I'll put it full screen for you guys to look at. But essentially, the boost rewards come from network inflation, which is up the top left. Network inflation, a large portion of that go to node operators and to consumers in the form of boost rewards. And that depends on how much boost is on a project. So if you want to look at this, there's a great guide that we have in our documentation around rewards. I just quickly share a link to it in the chat of how rewards are distributed in our network. There you are. All right. So that's about the network. There's a lot of stuff happening. So just a reminder, so far we've talked about the new 4.0 version of our SDK. We've talked about the new network becoming more open, the stats from the latest era, the new RPCs, public endpoints that we have active on our network, how people can now buy flex plans, which are production-ready plans for application. We've talked about delegator staking. We've talked about people around publisher projects, talked about consumer boosting. And we've talked about a few other things. Really, what this is I'm trying to show you is that, we released this graphic a while ago. This is our roadmap. And I think we put in a blog post out in January or February. This is what we promised to the community, like back in end of the year, start of this year. And you can see we're a long way along this project, this roadmap. We're almost on the second to last piece, and releasing our data nodes, our enhanced RPCs. It shows you that when we say that we're going to do something at SubQuery, we really deliver. We talk a big game, and we talk about big ideas that we have and how we want to kind of change the industry. But the key is that we actually do it. We deliver it. We build these things, we release these things, and we put these things into production. So enhanced RPCs are going out. It's marked on this roadmap as Q2. Again, first week of Q2, we've got it in beta. After that, we're going to improve that, and then of course work on democratizing RPCs with our sharded data nodes. Again, that's in Q3. We're going to have to update this roadmap soon with the rest of the year, I think. But as I said, it's about, like, at SubQuery, the key thing that we always want to do is we always want to deliver. We always want to build, and we want to release things, and we want to actually, rather than just talk about things, actually do them. Okay, so this kind of roadmap that we published a long time ago really illustrates how well we are executing on what we promised our community. Talking about developers, so we're developing things fast, but I get a lot of questions. How can I join? Like I'm a developer. Do you have any jobs? SubQuery, we are hiring some people, but what we like to do is we like to look at what people are doing in the community, and there is our developer guild. So if you want to earn some SubQuery tokens, complete some challenges, work on some challenges with SubQuery, there's a bunch of missions out there on our developer guild. It's a GitHub project. It's open. Basically, you can go to it here, and there's a bunch of challenges and tasks, each with a amount that you can go on there and start and take over now. All of these open source, all of these easy and available to do. If you take one on, you can comment, and our development team will support you. But if you want to participate, if you want to get involved with SubQuery from a developer point of view, if you want to write some code for us and get rewarded for it, don't forget to join our developer guild. And I just put a link to the guild here. It's right here on GitHub. So go check that out. There's a new task coming out every week. Let's talk about networks. Of course, we're always adding new networks. Nowadays, we get a lot of networks reaching out to us, asking us if we can add support for them. At the moment, we support 164 networks. As of just before, I think there's a few more coming tomorrow. 164 different networks that SubQuery support across EVM chains, across Polkadot, Cosmos, Algorand, Stellar, Near, yeah, a lot of chains out there. If you want to look at the list, there's a big website that we have on our website, supporting networks. So you go through a long list. Some new notable ones that we have announced this last month: Referral, Kudos, Soroban and Stellar went mainnet. They're a big network out there, and they went to their mainnet support. Astar released a new ZK EVM chain in production. Bitcoin, we entered the Bitcoin fray with BEVM, and I think there's another one, BVM as well. And there's more Bitcoin chains talking to us as well. There's a lot of EVM layer rollups on Bitcoin at the moment. So new networks being able to support all the time. Check out the list on our website. Also talking about new partnerships. So we did some articles with Dojo Swap, who are using us index. Same with Aeroscraper. And I think we've copied up a logo, but I'm not sure who the third one is. A little mistake on our part. But it's not just about new customer integrations. It's also about what we're trying to do is also make SubQuery kind of the center of everything. So on the left-hand side, this kind of a diagram represents what you can do with SubQuery and what it's connected to. On the left-hand side, it's all the different 164 chains that we support. You can output to a Postgres database, but then from that data, you can put into a GraphQL, into your block explorers, or your decentralized applications, or your mobile apps, or your analytics tools. But now we have guides and workshops and example code of how to get into CSVs, for example, which then you can automatically ingest into big BI tools like Google BigQuery. We also have like support for tools like Metabase as well, so you can put a visualization layer on top of your database, so you can better visualize and analyze the information that your SubQuery project indexes. And we're working on this right now. Our goal is that this ecosystem of integrations is going to get very big. There's going to be a lot of different things on the right-hand side as well, or things that SubQuery works nicely with. All right, that's enough about technical stuff. Let's talk about community stuff. The big thing about us that we've been focused on for the last 2 months, which I'm sure everyone is aware of, or I hope you're aware of, is the SubQuery Seekers program. This is a massive community airdrop program, gamified, incentivized airdrop program, where we're giving away 50 million SQT to our community for participating in challenges. That's a lot of SubQuery tokens. It's a lot of money. And at the moment, of course, there are over 293,000 participants in the Seekers program. The ones that have KYC are around 20,000 people have completed KYC. So that's your biggest reminder. If you are part of the Seekers program, you have 1 week remaining to finish your KYC. 1 week remaining of the program. So last week to get all those last points. There's still points out there to get. Maximize your points, refer your friends, because you have 1 week remaining to maximize your points before we cut the program off and we distribute those 50 million SQT tokens to the community. So some key points to mention, okay? It will end on the 10th of April, 11:59 p.m. UTC. Okay, that's next week, Wednesday, just 1 week from now. Make sure you submit your KYC application by that date. We will be going through those. We'll have a little bit of time at the end just to kind of follow up things, but submit everything by the 10th of April. If you want to change your email, a lot of people have been asking this question. They KYC'd with a different email than what their account was. If you want to change your email, there is a support form. Please fill that out. I'll put it in the link in the comment section here so you can check it out. Please fill out that support form and we can change your email. You must have a valid and approved KYC check and over 1,000 points to receive your share of the 15 million prize pool. Okay, so if you haven't, If you've just signed up in KYC but not done anything, you won't get your share unless you get over 1,000 points. And getting 1,000 points is very easy. Like, we've made it so like it's basically anyone can do it. Okay. Rewards will be distributed on the 16th of April on the base airdrop network via an airdrop. It'll take us a few days to process all these last things, go through all the last KYC stuff, and then figure out how to like do the airdrops for over 20 or 30,000 people. And they'll be claimed on the claim page. Now, be careful what links you click on. Be careful what tokens you interact with. Make sure that you follow all the instructions from the official channels. If it doesn't come from us in a blog or from us officially on our Discord, don't click on it. There'll be scammers trying to take your tokens or trying to hack your account. So please be careful. But you have a week left. Good luck. Go get it. And be careful out there. Okay. Make sure you can submit your KYC. Now, there's a question already I see on the side. What is a point conversion ratio to tokens? It's a great question. So we don't know that yet. So the idea is that everyone that's earned over 1,000 points, we will sum up the points together, and whatever you got as a proportion, you'll receive that proportion of SQT from that 50 million prize pool. Okay. So we don't know what the point conversion is yet. We'll know once the program finishes, once there's no more points to be earned, and then we'll be able to figure that out. But you know, the SubQuery token is doing quite well in this market right now, so it could be quite good if you have a high point score, especially those that have referred a lot of people. There's some good rewards to be earned out there. All right, so what's next? Some listings information, just a summary of listings. So we announced last week or the week before, I can't remember, Crypto.com, we listed the SubQuery token. Crypto.com is one of the biggest exchanges in the world. You can now trade SubQuery tokens on the mobile app from Crypto.com, which is an excellent mobile app. But that's a new listing. They joined Bybit, which was one of the other exchanges. And of course, we talked about, I think we announced this on Monday, that the next exchange for SubQuery will be Gate. Gate will be supporting SubQuery very soon. I think it comes out on Friday. Friday the 5th of April, 8 a.m. UTC. Gate will launch the SubQuery token on their trading platform, which gives us 3 exchanges. So it gives you Bybit, gives you Crypto.com, and of course Gate. So don't miss out. Gate comes live on Friday the 5th of April at 8 a.m. UTC. The good thing about Gate, though, that's different, is that Gate will support Base Network. I know a lot of people have been asking, why can't we get support from Bybit or from a KuCoin on Base? They want to be able to deposit or withdraw SubQuery tokens directly to Base Network. Well, Gate will support that, okay, which is excellent news. We've been working with the exchanges for a long time about this. It's quite difficult. Some of the exchanges have quite conservative chain support strategies, but Gate will support deposits and withdrawals on Base, as well as Ethereum mainnet, of course. So that goes live on Friday. It makes it easy for you to get access to SubQuery tokens and to then use them in the network as they should be. So if you want to go out and delegate or get tokens so you can delegate them, Gate will support you on Friday. So Friday 8 a.m., I recommend you get some tokens on Gate, withdraw them quickly to Base, and deposit them before the era ends, so you get to start receiving some of that sweet API from the network. All right, that's enough about exchanges. Just a reminder, Bybit, Crypto.com, Gate, and of course all the decentralized exchanges that have SubQuery tokens as well, like Uniswap, for example, on both Base and Ethereum. All right, let's talk about some other community stuff. So the last month, our team's been doing a lot of traveling. Marta has been on the road, especially. Marta's kind of our head of BD. And she's been on the road with one of our marketing managers, Nick, at SubZero, which is a large Polkadot event. They had their big annual festival in Bangkok, in Asia, just at the start of the month. And that's a big step forward for SubQuery. It was great to represent ourselves there. And I think they had a great time. So I'm just getting a phone call here to end this. SubZero was a great success for SubQuery because we met a lot of new prospects. It was also able to discover existing customers. A lot of the events we find are in Europe or America, and there are a lot of teams in Asia, like China, Hong Kong, Singapore, and other Southeast Asia countries that don't often travel to these events in the US or the European Union. So it's great to finally meet with our teams or the teams that use SubQuery that are based in Asia. There was a lot of teams out there in Asia that finally got to meet us in Bangkok. That's why I really love events in Southeast Asia, especially like Token 2049 in Singapore, because there's a lot of teams that don't often go to other conferences that we get to meet in these spaces. And other things is just a reminder that we have a community member. So we have a community member of the week program where we pick a community member that's been doing an outstanding job in supporting others on Discord or Telegram, and reward them, of course, for SubQuery tokens. But it's just important for us to recognize the value that our community brings, especially some of these individuals that do a great job in spreading SubQuery, helping others out, like these four for the last month. So Cesar, who met us in person and supported the team, Marta and Brittany in Denver, Web3 CDN, who is invaluable in terms of supporting indexes and node operators on Discord, and he's also completed many developer guild tasks. Emo Molrasovit, I guess, who's been very proactive with community help and assistance to newcomers, and of course Tran, who's been highly engaged in the Vietnamese community, very positive member there. So we'd love to see our community members do a good job. If you want to win this next week, it's all yours. Just go out there, support people, engage with others, help others out, spread the word. We'd love to recognize those that really bring value to the community. It's important for us. You guys are very important to us. Which brings me, I guess, to our April program, which is the SubQuery Discord referral program. This is our April big kind of marketing push this month. It's a Discord referral campaign. There is a guide somewhere for it, but essentially, if you refer people using your special code, we are rewarding people at the end of the month that refer the most people. So it's running this month. It starts every Monday and ends every Sunday. The list of winners will be announced at the end of the week, and the following Monday, the rewards will be given out, and the next campaign will begin. The campaign will end at the end of this month. But of course, there are SubQuery tokens up for grabs for the week on a weekly basis. So every week, we give this prize out to members of that week. So make sure you get involved week by week. It's excellent. All right. And everyone here is asking about the Zcode Word. This is your Zcode Word. It's April Fool's. Nothing today has been April Fool's. It's the second or third where I am. I hope you guys stayed safe on the internet yesterday or on the 1st. But the Zcode Word is April Fool's. Happy April. And of course, congratulations, Chris Han, for being the winner of a 500 XP on Zeli. Chris Han. The sites have not did it, but you are the winner of the instant win 500 Zeli points. Chris Han. And that brings us to the end. Now Q&A time. Any questions? Any comments? Looking at the chat windows. If you have any questions, please put them in. I know a bunch of people asking, hey, when's Bybit? Binance listing? I can't tell you that. I think I've told you many times that we can't talk about any potential exchange listings. But hey, who knows? Does this project use a burn system to reduce its supply? SubQuery network is actually slightly inflationary. So there's an inflation rate of SubQuery tokens that go out to reward network participants. It's a way to bootstrap the network. So at the moment, it's slightly inflationary, but there's a lot of tokens in the foundation wallet that we may start to burn. We're starting to look at using governance a bit more for this. We're thinking about doing our first governance thing next with node operators to answer a question there with them. But we have got in place tools to burn tokens. So we have a burn system in place. We're not using it right now, but we can, and we probably will in the future. If you want to burn tokens, just send it to the token contract address wallet. That's our burn wallet. Claudia, Ion, if you want to share the Zeli task, it is April Fool's. It's on the screen right now. Let me just quickly have a look in Discord if there are any questions there. Otherwise, I think we're good to go. We're doing a big bit of effort right now. A lot of teams are coming to us to help with their DPIN projects right now. And so that's big focus for SubQuery at the moment is DPIN. If you're not familiar with DPIN, it's a decentralized physical infrastructure. It's perfect for the SubQuery network. The SubQuery network is a decentralized infrastructure provider. So it's something that works that we're already doing and we've been doing for a long time. But that's a big focus area for us at the moment. What can we do if our KYC email is different from the account email? Fill in the form. It's a submission form. If you go on Discord and go to like the SubQuery Seekers support channel, there's a form pinned, or if you go to the Seekers website and look at like how to get help, there's a link to a form. Fill out the form and request that we change your email, and we can do that. I think that's it. Yeah. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Thank you for tuning in. There's a lot that we covered today, a lot of announcements, especially, well, a quick summary. So we talked about the new 4.0 version of our SDK with the massive performance improvements. We're now 3.9 times fast, almost 4 times faster than the graph. Our new network and the stats so far. Thanks for that. We also talked about the new consumer plans on our network, how you can publish your own project to the network, how anyone can join the network today as a delegator and start earning some of that almost 50% APR. And it's easy and risk-free to do so. So there's a guide around how to do that. There's a video guide that's very easy to do. We talked about consumer boosting feature that's just been released. We talked a little bit about the economic model and how these pieces have laid into it, and of course the roadmap and how far down the roadmap we are. We talked about the developer guild, the new networks that we're supporting, now 164 networks. We talked about an ecosystem of integrations and how it's growing. We talked about our Seekers program, how it's got 1 week left. Make sure you get last points and complete your KYC. We talked about the new exchange listings with Gate coming out later this week. We talked about our time at SubZero Asia, our community members, our April SubQuery Surge Discord referral program, and of course, the questions and answers. So thank you very much for joining. It's a pleasure to talk to you all. Wherever you are in the world, it's always a pleasure. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye, guys.